Hey, good morning. You see that? There's no rain. No rain today. Woohoo! Hey guys. I'm finally gonna get to put my cat fence in today. I've been waiting and waiting. Just 1 second. How's everyone doing? Thank God, right? Okay, so I live in a house, a small house. That's the stream. Can you guys hear? You can hear the stream? Thank you. It is right at the very top of its banks. We've had so much rain. It comes up and goes down within hours, but it's been at the very top of its bank. So yeah, it sounds like a big river over there. It's really just a full stream. Good morning. So buying a solid color navy blue sweater makes good fashion sense, doesn't it? When you live in a house with 5 cats and you take care of anywhere from 2 to 4 outdoor streams, 2 to 4 outdoor dogs. Yeah, it's really running strong. I don't know if you can see it. I'll turn the camera, but I don't think you can see it from here. It's out there. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Do you see where that little junky shed is out there? It's just beyond that. You might be able to see a little strip of white water. There's a woman named, you probably can't see it, but I'm glad you can hear it. Buying a navy blue sweater is a good fashion decision, don't you think, Linda? Because I have 5 cats and I play with the anywhere from 2 to 4 outdoor dogs that are out there in any given moment. Makes sense, right? It was just hanging in my closet and I had to delint it. There's a woman named Kat Polivoda. Thank you. It's very comfortable too. Polivoda. Polivoda. She's a really adorable little plus size college student, and she buys really cute clothes and then she wears them a few times and she resells them on her website. It's called shopcatscloset.com. CATS. And I got this sweater for $8. And her stuff is barely worn. She goes around to thrift stores and yard sales, so some stuff you can get from her if you're in the plus size range still has the tags on it. So I got a dress from Lane Bryant that still has the tags on it for $12. The sweater was $8. True. This isn't my blue sweater. This is my orange sweater. Okay, and then I'll show you my solution to my cup being too small, and then we'll get started. Just bring the thermos out. My cup is too small for my daily coffee needs, and my coffee gets cold. Yeah, just like that. Shopcatscloset.com. $8, $10. She has stuff in all different sizes, because it's not just stuff she wears, it's stuff she picks up at sales. My name is Michelle Wolf. You can find me at caddyshackdesigns.com right here. My goal with everything I do is to help you increase your happiness threshold. We're not comfortable with being happy, generally speaking, and coaching and desire mapping and Reiki and essential oils and things like that can help remove the blocks to happiness and reasons you might be self-sabotaging your success. And then every day here we talk about either A Course in Miracles or the Tao. And I have the new one today, so we'll read them both. So this is an amazing author that I read a lot when I was a kid. She wrote the Earthsea trilogy. I'm sure Catherine knows. It's like fantasy stuff. The Left Hand of Darkness. She's an excellent, excellent writer. And as a kid, I read her stuff, but I didn't really understand it. The metaphor of it. Reading it as an adult is a whole different story. So today is our Byron Katie Dow Day. We're getting Tao in the hood. Yes, yes. Well, she did a translation of the Tao that Nina hooked me up with because she's reading it, and I like it. It's not. It is more everyday, current language. I like them both because the one by Stephen Mitchell is a little more poetic, in my opinion, my type of poetic. So here we go. Let's go. Let's go. You guys are the only reason I'm out of bed right now. I woke up so tired. I'm so glad that I had to come out here and talk to you because otherwise I'd still be slugging it around in bed. Oh, okay. Does she narrate it? It's an audiobook? Okay. So we're on the second chapter. We read chapter 1 on Sunday. I love bed. I love it. Oh, cool. Oh, I might have to do that because I buy a lot of audiobooks to listen to. Morgan and I share a subscription to audible.com. I have to have stories on that long-ass drive. Back and forth and back and forth. Do you know that's 5 hours in the car on Thursdays and Saturdays? It's worth it, but you have to have ways to survive it. Podcast, woohoo! All right, let's start with this version of the Tao. Chapter 2. I love podcasts too. I have a lot of stuff on my phone. Oh, that's really cool. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, then other things become bad. We talked about this just the other day. I know, right? You put a label on something and then you automatically create its opposite. So I'm going to read it all the way through. I'm going to start over, read it all the way through, and stop inserting my commentary. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Uh-oh. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. Hi, Mom. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it, and that's why it lasts forever. So my mom, who just popped on, is sitting on a beach in Acamal, Mexico. Quick, everyone hate on her. I actually don't hate on her. I don't want to go to Mexico. But that's where she's at right now while we're freezing. How's the beach, Mom? Oh, darn it. Still? Hey. I'll read that one more time. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it, and that is why it lasts forever. I love that one. I'm really liking going through this book. So I'll read you this other translation, and then we'll look at the Byron Katie book. Good Lord. Do you see that nut job behind me? Look at him. Do you hear it? He's all fired up this morning. Talks to himself a lot. Okay, so this is the other version. He's a sassy. That's Tonka, the naughtiest cat in the world. He's my favorite. Don't tell the other ones. He healed my heart when my dog died. He came along and was this naughty little mischievous thing that I got for Grit. I saw his picture and was like, that's my cat. I have to go get him. My friend runs a dog rescue for Puppy Mill, breeding dogs, which is horrible, and we might talk about that someday. But this cat showed up, 4 months old, had every dog in the house, 14 dogs, lined up on the couch, and was keeping them on the couch. They were so scared of him. Can you hear him talking to himself? Okay. He's just talking to himself. He does that all the time. So she titled Chapter 2, the one we just read. This is the different version. The other one that's his buddy right there behind me, Juniper Hoot. Soul food. It does sound like he's calling something. Like when moms call kittens, it kind of has that gurgly sound to it. Soul food. Everybody on earth knowing that beauty is ugly makes ugliness. So this is her take on it, and I like it. Everybody on earth knowing that beauty is beautiful makes ugliness. Everybody knowing that goodness is good makes wickedness. For being and non-being arise together. Hard and easy complete each other. Long and short shape each other. High and low depend on each other. Note and voice make the music together. Before and after follow each other. In her notes, she writes notes at the bottom. One of the things I read in this chapter is that values and beliefs are not only culturally constructed, but also part of the interplay of yin and yang, the great reversals that maintain the living balance of the world. Whoops, hold on. I wasn't done. I missed this whole second page. Okay, so I said before and after follow each other. That's why the wise soul does without doing, teaches without talking. The things of this world exist. They are. You can't refuse them. To bear and not to own. To act and not lay claim. To do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay. Okay, back to her notes. One of the things I read in this chapter, values and belief are culturally constructed, and also the interplay of yin and yang, the great reversals that maintain the living balance of the world. And we're between, on that razor's edge. To believe that our beliefs are permanent truths, which encompass reality, is a sad arrogance. To let go of that belief is to find safety. I love what she wrote right there. A sad arrogance. My God, we get caught up in sad arrogance a lot. Dang it, my coffee got cold. I love it. To believe that our beliefs are permanent truth, which encompass reality, is a sad arrogance. And then our way out is to let go of that belief, is to find safety. We have a lot of safety when we understand that the unchanging source is there for us. Yeah, we get ourselves in a lot of trouble doing that. The unchanging, constant, these are what I would call the laws of the universe. They don't change. There's light and dark, there's good and bad, there's good morning, Sarah. There's light and dark, good and bad, there's the opposite, the yin and yang. We balance ourselves in the middle. Okay, Nina. Have a great drive to work. Hello. Right. If I'm right, you're wrong. We can't both be right. One of us has to be wrong, which is such a limiting mindset. Such a limiting mindset. It is arrogant. Oh my gosh. The arrogance that come with digging your heels into the dirt and saying, this is it. This is the only way. This is the one and only answer. Unless you're talking about math, there's not just one answer. Dang son of a bee. Hey, Jana, how's your hand? It's an exhausting way to live. It's what sends us to early graves. It's what makes us look old before our time. You grew up thinking that? Yeah. The nice thing about growing up is you can look back and say, you can take a look at your values and beliefs and ask yourself, do I believe this? Or, I know, right, because math doesn't change. There's lots of ways to get to the answer in math, but there's only one answer. Oh, it's itchy. That's good, it's healing. When we slip off that razor's edge onto one side or the other, or even worse, decide that it's our job to convince other people, that's why you hate math. So we have one lover of math, one hater of math. I try and avoid math. It's not my strong suit. Okay, so let's look at the corresponding chapter. So we read, Sarah, if you're watching, we've got this book we're reading from, chapter 2, and then we're also now reading this translation of the Tao, chapter 2. Math hates you. Right. I don't mind math, except that math then leads me to money, and then that part I'm struggling with. Math hates me back, so it's all good. So Catherine and math have a mutual hate relationship. Not love-hate, just hate-hate. Love math and numbers. No, Sarah, math loves everyone. Oh, gosh. Okay, so chapter 2 in... Whoops. I had to write my title down because it's not programmed in my phone yet. Hey, my phone updated itself. Tanya, did yours? Wasn't your phone still not updating on Periscope? And then 1,000 Names for Joy from Byron Katie corresponds with the chapters of the Tao. So that's how we're doing this. So chapter 2, Sacred Geometry is math, and it's beautiful. Dang it. Okay. Good morning. Starts with an A. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry I can't remember your name. I know it starts with an A. It's not Aaron. It's not Andy. Adrian. Is it Adrian? Shit. I'm sorry. Chapter 2. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Okay, when they believe their thoughts, people divide reality into opposites. They think that only certain things are beautiful. But to a clear mind, everything in the world is beautiful in its own way. I worked with a guy once who didn't have a lot of redeeming qualities, but the one quality he had that I liked is he just loved women, like big women, white women, black women, fat women, tall women. He didn't care. He didn't care if they were 80 or if they were... He just loved the female principle in the world. And he recognized that it was like a goddess thing. But he used to say that all the time when somebody would say something about someone's appearance. He would say, that's a woman, and you don't ever talk bad about them. And they're all beautiful. All of them. So I loved that about him. He was a jerk in every other way. But only by believing your own thoughts can you make the real unreal. If you don't separate reality into categories by naming it and believing that your names are the only real ones, how can you reject anything or believe that one thing is of less value than another? If you don't label and categorize and put things into opposites, you don't reject stuff. So then you stop fighting reality. So all of a sudden you have a lot of energy available to you that you didn't have before. Adrian, I knew it was Adrian. Thanks for the shares and the hearts, guys. The mind's job is to prove that what it thinks is true, and it does that by judging and comparing this to that. Apples to oranges. What good is a this to the mind if it can't prove it with a that? Without proof, how can a this or that exist? And if we don't see immediate proof, we make it up. We tell a story. We find a way to prove our beliefs, whether it's true or not. For example, if you think that only Mozart is beautiful, there's no room in your world for rap. And you guys know or may not know that I'm a big fan of gangster rap. Don't judge me. You're entitled to your opinion, of course, but other people think that rap is where it's at. How do you react when you believe that rap is ugly? You grit your teeth when you hear it, and when you have to listen, you're in a torture chamber. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The lyrics are terrible. I try not to listen to the lyrics and just the sound of the music. Some of the lyrics are awful. Country music hurts my husband's ears, too. He hates country music. He flat refuses to listen to it. I love that when mind is understood, there's room for rap and Mozart. Oh, that's funny. Do you remember that movie Office Space, where the nerdy white guy's like rapping out in his car? That's me. I'm an approaching middle-aged white woman who will bust out some lyrics in the car. I love that movie too. That's one of my favorite movies. I'm that geeky white old chick. Yeah, he hates country music. Oh my God, Catherine, he hates it. He looks like he could live a redneck life, but he's not. He's not a redneck at all. Yeah, absolutely. Bust a rhyme, bust a move. Okay. When mind is understood, there's room for rap and Mozart. And I love Mozart too. I don't hear anything as noise. To me, a car alarm is as beautiful as a bird singing. It's all the sound of God. Jesus, guys. By its very nature, the mind is infinite. Once it has questioned its belief, it can find beauty in all things. Are you talking about a mosh pit, Rhonda? I missed something. A mosh pit, yeah. Mosh pits are fun, but painful. That's when you get down in a group of... Oh, cats. Yes, that was the cats. So, Eckhart Tolle has an exercise in the book A Power of Now where you've never heard of a mosh pit, Tanya? You get down, you go to a concert, usually like heavy metal or punk or something like that. Like we went and saw Stained and Shinedown, people like that. You get down in the front and you just... This really does sound terrible. You just start smashing each other. Yeah, Nirvana, who is still my all-time favorite band, and Kurt Cobain was murdered. That's all I'm going to say about that. You get down in front and you literally start smashing your body off other people's bodies. You're just moshing it up together. You're just bouncing off each other. You're just smashing into each other. Oh yeah. Yeah, you slam into each other. I don't know why it's fun, but it really is. Oh my gosh, Tanya, what are you listening to? You get so much frustration out. It feels so good. You might get a bruise or two. You'll be all right. Oh, I know. I do too. I was devastated. Oh, yeah, I can't listen to them though. Their lyrics are just too awful. There's some lyrics I just can't get past. The teenagers I worked with used to listen to them a lot, and I can't do it. My husband likes them though. Anyway, so Eckhart, I can't stand them either. Eckhart Tolle has you listen to an annoying sound until you can, oh my gosh, I just thought of how I can totally do this. So you go find an annoying sound and you listen to it. You desensitize yourself to it and you learn to accept it. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Top 40. I love Taylor Swift. I've had her CD in my car for like 6 months. I don't know who that is either. Annoying sounds are a great way to practice inclusion because annoying sounds make me feel rageful. There's actually a word for that. Like, I can't remember the name. Monophonia or something. Monophonia. His voice is annoying. But if you challenge yourself to it, the monophonia thing is a rageful response to irritating sounds. And I do have that. It's a thing. It's a real thing. I'm not making it up. But you can desensitize yourself to it. I just haven't had the nerve to do it. I haven't had the strength to do it, but I might try that. Okay, so anyway, we've digressed. The Tao Te Ching says that the source of everything is called... Whoops, wrong chapter. Yes, me too. When my husband's working on a chainsaw or a lawnmower engine, that can send me over the roof. Over the edge. My Kevin's like, no, hell no, I'm not doing it. Okay, only by belief. Okay, hold on, you guys, I'm so lost now. Once it has questioned its beliefs, it can find beauty in all things. It's that open and free. And this is not a philosophy. This is how the world really is. If you believe that anyone's action is bad, how can you see the good in it? How can you see the good that comes out of it, maybe years later? Yes, she does, Joan Jett. If you see anyone as bad, how can you understand that we're all created equal? We're all teachers by the way we live. A blind drunk can teach more about why not to drink, than an abstinent man in all his piety. That's good. A blind drunk can teach you more about why you should not drink than an abstinent man can in all his piety, and I would add self-righteousness. No one has more or less goodness. No one who ever lived is a better or worse human being than you. I can tell you, that's perfect. That's a perfect philosophy. I can tell you that you can find some addicts in recovery who are the most humble and compassionate people you will ever run across. And going into Toys R Us is a great method of birth control. Some people that you wouldn't normally approach because they're rough looking or covered in tattoos can be a walking Buddha. Can be Buddha personified, and you wouldn't ever know it because their appearance would put you off. But I'm telling you, if you go to a biker gathering, you're going to find people with the biggest hearts. Not that you don't find them elsewhere, but big hearts often come in biker bodies. Let's say that. Make a meme out of that one. Big hearts often come in biker bodies. Put it on a sunset background, please. Yes, absolutely. My dad was. My dad was covered in tattoos and could be somewhat rough looking at times, and was very wise. An addict. But your daughter's school has some teachers that have made kids think that homeless people are evil. That's a damn shame. That's a real damn shame. We have a lot to learn by people who look the roughest because they've suffered a lot. If you've suffered a lot, you've got a lot more compassion going for you. And it doesn't have to come from suffering, but if you understand suffering, if you have that empathic nature and you can feel it, yeah, there's a lot of judgment about tattoos. Oh, geez. Okay. A mind that doesn't question its judgments makes the world very small and dangerous. It must continue to fill the world with bad things and bad people, and in doing so creates its own suffering, a whole different perspective on life. The worst thing that ever happened exists only in the past, which means it doesn't exist at all. Oh gosh. The worst thing that ever happened to you exists only in the past, which means it doesn't exist. The only thing that still exists is your story about it and how many times you replay it in your mind. Some are, yeah, boy. Right now, it's only a stressful thought in your mind. Good things, bad things, good people, bad people. These opposites are valid only by contrast. Could it be that whatever seems bad to you is just something you haven't seen clearly enough yet? I noticed that yesterday that Nina's handle had changed. Could it be that whatever seems bad to you is just something, or someone, I would add, that you haven't seen clearly enough yet? In reality, as it is in itself, everything, every person lies far beyond your capacity to judge. Once you no longer believe your own thoughts, you act without doing anything because there's no other possibility. You see that all thoughts of yourself as the doer are simply not true. I watch the hand that I call mine move toward the teacup. Gotcha. It has such intelligence, glides through the air so purposefully, arrives at the cup, fingers close around the handle, hand lifts cup, brings it to lips, tilts it, tea flows, and all the time no one is doing it. The doer is quite another, the one beyond the story of I am. The person beyond the story of what you label yourself to be. If you keep going through your labels, you start generally with what are actually your roles in life. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I'm a this, I'm a that. They're generally roles that you're playing. They're not really who you are at the core. We haven't seen it all before and we're afraid of that which we don't know. Yes. What she's saying is when you don't examine your thoughts about stuff, you can't see it clearly. So you can't understand, and therefore you reject. We reject reality when we don't take the time to understand what it is we're really seeing, which is really only the manifestation of our storylines. Things seem to arise and the master lets them go because they're already gone. This apparent letting go is not some saintly act of surrender. It's just that nothing ever belonged to her in the first place. Nothing belongs to us. Nothing. Nothing. We don't own anything. It takes you completely by surprise when you see it. Yes. How could she not let go of what doesn't exist except as a story of a past or a future? How can you not let go of that? The energy it takes to hang on to the illusion of that is exhausting. She has only what she believes herself to have, so she has nothing, she needs nothing. She acts and waits for the miracle of what is, expecting nothing that would spoil the surprise. When her work is done, she forgets it because there's nothing to remember. Remember, that's the end part of that Tao chapter. When her work, totes exhausting. Totally. Yeah. It's set up that way on purpose. It's set to go with that second chapter. This is the second chapter of her book. When her work is done, she forgets it because there's nothing to remember. It's done. It's gone. She can't see what doesn't exist. Was her work good or bad? How ridiculous. Did it penetrate deeply or have no effect whatsoever? As if that were any of her business. Will it last forever? Did it even last for an instant? Stephen Pressfield writes about how in the Bhagavad Gita, I can never pronounce it, the Upanishads, or the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita, I can't say it, in the Bhagavad Gita, baby, that one. He talks about how, and I can't remember which text he was referring to, but he talks about your responsibility is to do the work. What happens to your work after you've done it is not your business. You don't have any control over it. I mean, Van Gogh died thinking his work was going nowhere, and look what happened. You just don't know. I have books out there that have been read and made an impact, and they haven't sold a lot, but the fact that they impacted one person at all is enough. When I write a book, yes, like being a mother, you don't know. You have no control over it. Our kids come through us, but they are not us. They belong to God, or source, or love. They come from love through us. We give them a doorway into this world, and that's about the extent of our control. We try to keep them alive and out of the street and away from hot things until they're old enough. You pull all your hair out to do it right and still completely separate. Having twins has been an eye-opening experience, having twins in my life. Those two little girls have distinct, crystal clear personalities that are completely different from each other. They're only 18 months old, but by 6 months old, you could see that they brought a lot of stuff with them. We bring a lot of stuff with us. And it doesn't really matter what we do or don't do. I view my job is to keep them alive, when I'm in charge of them. Keep them away from hot things, which is difficult lately. And teach them what I know and what they do with it. When you feel the need to apologize for your kid's behavior, yes. Their mommy, Sarah, just went through that when they both threw tantrums at the same time at the Stride Right shoe store and began running down, flinging shoes off into the floor. Sarah just about died. Morgan was like, they're toddlers. Who cares? We'll put the shoes back and we leave. Morgan has a good attitude, but Sarah was mortified. She was so embarrassed. I don't think anyone else cared. They're toddlers. What do you expect? So your job is to do the work, to do the best you can with what you know. When I write a book, my compulsion is to write the book. And as soon as it's out as a Kindle or a Nook book, I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't look at it again. I don't go check and see how many copies have sold. Every now and then I might get a little check for $10 or $12 from Amazon, and I'm like, oh. Then I'll go look and see that a few books sold. Awesome. There's nothing I can do about those books. Yes, you create it, and it's like, no offense. You create it, and then you're done with it. And it's like it never even existed in your head. It's the compulsion of this push to get it out. When it's out, it's over. And then I'm done. Every now and then I'll market it. And I don't even do that hardly anymore, ever. Yes. Same thing with these scopes. I don't hang on to them. I don't go back and look at them unless sometimes when I get on a roll, I don't really remember what we talked about. So sometimes I'll go back and take a few notes. But when the compulsion is to get on here and talk to you, and then when it's done, it's done. What? That's great. Yes. So don't worry about what happens. Yeah. Yes. Don't worry about what happens post-creation. Yes, that's it exactly. You post it from inspiration, and then post-inspiration, post-creation, you let it go. You put your stuff on Facebook, and the people who need to see it, see it. The people who don't. It's not your business. Your impulse was to create. You receive that energy, and it needs to come out. You let it come out, and then you did it. You served your job, you birthed your thing, and you're done. You're done with it. Let it go. When her work is done, she forgets it because there's nothing to remember. It's done. It's gone. She can't see what doesn't exist. My worth is not connected to how people react to my creations. Yes, we talked about a quote by John Acuff the other day. Yeah, it's interesting timing, Catherine. Hey, Kristen. Catherine and I were talking about yesterday about Facebook posts. Yeah, just words. Just words. And words are powerful. We put our Facebook posts out, and we have no idea who's seeing them. I know on my business Facebook page, Facebook artificially limits who sees them unless I pay them money. I have over 700 people on my business page, and my posts are often only shown to 10 or 12 people. Hey, Kristen. They're invaluable to someone who needs it. Right, our words are powerful, and we feel the impulse to create. Look how powerful your creation was. You challenged yourself to create this awesome mala, which I feel like is a perfect complement to my other mala. Yeah, thanks, Facebook jerks. I've paid for Facebook ads too, and it doesn't work. So people have bought kits from me that never displayed any interest in them that I could see. No attachment. People have bought books from me that I've never even heard of. My books are on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I don't know who's buying those books. I don't even know how they found them. I had a woman show up in my last Desire Map workshop. Never heard of her. She actually didn't know her at all. I think they complement each other well. I really do. One's heavy and earthy And the other one's hearty and airy. I feel like they balance each other well. Yeah, they go good together. When you feel, here's where people can get into addictions and stuff. When they feel the impulse to create and they don't create. When they feel the impulse to express and they don't express. They stuff it with an addiction. They cocoon themselves against the pain of creation because creation's painful. Putting it out there is painful. It involves a great deal of negative self-talk often, especially in the beginning. Yes, it hurts. Birth hurts. Have you given birth? Even if it was a C-section, it fucking hurt. It hurt. Look what you got out of it, though. Birth hurts. It's painful. It's messy. It's dirty. It's ugly. And you get the most awesome thing out of it. When you're creating, it's the same process. It's painful. It hurts because a lot of times in the beginning, we resist our creative impulses, and that's painful. It makes us eat. It makes us drink. Yes, broken to whole isn't easy. Heartbreak to wholeheartedness isn't easy. But the pain ends when you allow the birth. You did it twice. Crazy. I would have done it twice if I didn't have the opportunity. The pain stops when you honor the creative impulse and you let it move through you. You try to hold back a river, you're going to drown. And drowning in reality looks like addictions, usually. You've got a hardcore addict, and you've usually got a very sensitive person who isn't creating in the way that they were meant to create. Their soul is not coming through. Ow, that hurt. Let's do it again. Right, once you've done it a few times, you can't stop. Because you've taught yourself that the pain ends and that the reward of honoring those creative impulses is far greater than any pain that you've gone through or are going through. It's far greater than any snotty rejection or critique that you're ever going to get. You think you're going to die, then you surrender and the baby comes out. Yes, I love tattoos, Linda, I really do. I'd have more, but at the moment they're not financially feasible. But I really do love them. The pain hurts. It hurts a lot. And then you're left with this thing that helps you remember what you're supposed to do in your life. Well, for me, that is. Oh, God. Please look at your creative impulses in the same way. Your only job is to create. Oh, yeah. That's great. I'm glad that you're seeing the parallel, HJ. Some people really miss the metaphor in birth, in childbirth. They miss it. They don't take that knowledge and apply it to the rest of their life. Take that metaphor of birth and apply it to all the other areas of your life. It gives you courage. Birthing was easier than undoing a toxic relationship. Yeah, it was. It sure was. Undoing toxic relationships. A life doula, I think, is perfect. Spiritual midwife. Yes, you're birthing your soul's expression in the world. If you want to be a vehicle for Source, you've got to move. You have to act. You can't just think about it. And the more and more you open yourself up to the forces of love, you'll be required to act or you'll implode. You'll be required to act. You'll be required to move your way through all the things that make you want to stop acting. And then you will really blossom. Yeah, life doula. All ideas have consciousness. Go into the pain, which takes a lot of courage because we're programmed to move away from pain, correct? We're programmed to avoid pain, so it takes some big lady balls to move into it. Yeah. So that's what this is all talking about. Everything that we talk about is talking about that. Connection. You can bottom line all of it to connection to the way, to connection to love, to connection to Source. And then that comes with the consequences of moving that energy into the world in your own particular way. So I was telling my sister last night that I can scope about lemon oil and she can scope about lemon oil. And even though we're talking about the same oil, her expression of her understanding of lemon oil is going to be different than mine. So it doesn't matter if we scope about the same things because we're different people. We have different energies and our expressions in the world are unique to us. So if you have a book in you, don't tell yourself that book's already been written. How many malas are in the world, right? But they're not Sarah malas. There's lots of malas. How many malas? Linda's going to have more malas in the world. And Sarah's mala is not Linda's mala. And now that they're my malas and they're different. And then they come and go. So if you tell yourself it's already been done, yeah, it's already been done. All of Shakespeare's plays get done again over and over and over. The storyline's the same because the storyline is our humanness. It doesn't change, but our personal expression of it. HJ's Reiki is going to be different than my Reiki. I always thought, well, so-and-so is doing it, so I can't. Right. Ridiculous. Tell that thought to go right away. Because your book's going to be different than my book. Your Reiki's different than my Reiki. It might be all Reiki. It might be labeled that. They can't do it the way you can because they're not you. Yeah, everybody does that because that's how resistance stops us from creating. So you just tell yourself, yep, but they're not me. Yeah. Your neighbors had kids, so I don't need to have them. That's awesome. In fact, you could give yours to the neighbor. My neighbors had kids, so I don't need to have kids. I should do that with ice cream. My neighbor's eating ice cream, so I don't need to eat ice cream. We want to reinvent the wheel. If not, it's not good enough. Yeah. If we took that approach to life, the world would end. Yes. We have to create or we wreck ourselves. So if you have addicts in your life and you have addictions in yourself, take a look at what's behind that. Generally, it's a shunting of creative energy into a smothering act. There would be no art. There would be no music. There would be no poetry. My books are poetry, except for one little novel, which is ridiculous. But there would be nothing of beauty. There would be no gardens. Oh, Michelle had an aha. Nice. Every storyline is the same. Every story is the hero's journey. All of them. All of them. It's just multiple different expressions of the same storyline. MLM businesses wouldn't work. Yeah. We go out of our way to help those not work. Kind of. Because we don't go recruit people. I couldn't do Young Living if I was required to recruit. I tried to do Mary Kay, and they would not stay off of me. I sold a little bit, and the person above me was such a hammerhead shark about pushy, that I stopped selling Mary Kay, which sucks because I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't do it now, but Arbonne, yeah, God, the pressure. Your life's creative purpose is to undo the pattern. Yeah, me too, Sarah. It was like 1999, 2000. And I told the woman, I was like, look, I'm selling. I put it at work. I enjoy making the women around me happy. I used to have husbands come by my desk and buy a lipstick to take home for the wife. Yeah, you do it your way. You have to do it your way. That's how Catherine and Jana and I do the oils. We have to do it our way. Yeah, you can't be pushy. You can't be pushing shit on people. So yes, red jacket, and then hit a wall. Sometimes the walls we hit are that happiness threshold that we talk about a lot. Oh, yeah. We try so hard to be different, but we're all the same. Yep. Yep. Adolescents sometimes kill themselves because they don't understand that. We have to reach our teenagers. We're different by being ourselves. Yes. Yes. We put our own particular shade of... The shades of the leaves around here are insane. One tree can have 100 different shades just in the area that you can see the way the colors are changing. Most of them have dropped by now, but I noticed that a lot. Yeah. It's an agonizing process. Yes. Going through it creates the world. It's still just a fucking tree. Still just a tree. They're all trees, like all other trees, and every single one of them is unique. Fucking trees with the fucking leaves that I have to fucking rake. We actually don't rake them. You sabotage your real estate business because of this crazy thought. I can't do because so-and-so's already doing it. Oh, Michelle. Same but different. The jewel of consciousness resides in the lotus. Yes. Om Mani Padme Hum. Is that good? Okay, give him a kiss for me. Downward spiral. Michelle said she'd sabotaged her real estate business. Linda. She sabotaged her real estate business by believing that she couldn't do something because somebody else was already doing it. Oh. We live in a forest, as you know, and we have to cut stuff down all the time, or the trees would come to life like in the Wizard of Oz and come over here and choke us to death. I mean, it's just, things just grow. They're growing, growing, growing. We have to trim them back. we would lose our open space. So anyway, they would swallow us whole. Sarah, Catherine can't do emoji, but back at you. It's a price we're willing to pay to live in the forest. So do without doing. Yes, you're so past that now. You're so past that now. And you needed to be out of that world anyway. You've got bigger expressions to give the world. You've got bigger stuff to birth. Bigger stuff to birth. And look where we'd be if Sarah hadn't followed her impulse to create molas. Just be your awesome fucking selves. Make that a meme. I'm a little overdone with the memes. Just be your awesome fucking self. Let's all make memes that say what we really want to say. Just be your awesome fucking self. There are Buddhas in bikers. This is from another Tao translation of today's reading. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Now it is time to put all the pieces back together into a seamless whole, William Martin. Now is the time to put all the pieces back into a seamless whole. Hear that? Now is the time. Now to put all the pieces back into a seamless whole. Yes, please. Yes, please, and thank you. Thank you for putting that in there, Tanya. Tanya has multiple translations of the Tao Te Ching. It's the one I think you will want. I'm going to post it on Facebook group. Thank you. Fucking puzzles. Fucking Zen koans that make you think. Oh, and there's always one missing piece of the puzzle, right? We want to be different so we're seen and validated that we exist. Yes. Oh my gosh. We have to learn to get that validation from something else. We validate our existence when we create. So that trying and that reaching and that seeking, that narcissistic striving for validation from other people is distorted. It's a way to waste your energy so that you don't create. Validation from our source. Yes, we exist just because we do. And we have every right. We have a birthright to breathe. We have a birthright to express. We have a birthright to speak just because we're here in a physical body today. So much power that we don't use. So much power that we don't use until now. And we're going to use it. So there you go. 7 different translations. You know why I think we don't know much about Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching? Because I think it was written by a woman. That's my personal theory. We know a lot about Confucius, and if Lao Tzu was a contemporary of his, and we have a lot of recorded history from 500 BCE, there's no reason that we shouldn't know more about the person. We're going to use our power, bitches. Now I've got my big girl panties on, yes. We're going to use our power, bitches. Just watch. Just watch. Just try and stop us. So I think Lao Tzu was a woman. That's my theory. So, what can you create today? Today I'll be creating a cat fence. That it's not raining. I'm going to go put up the poles and see how much fence I can get installed so that I can get these cats out from under my feet. They're going to have like 100 square feet of safe space outside to get the hell out from under my feet. And then I'm going to write today. I've promised myself I would write for 15 minutes. It is 2 feet tall, Sarah. That's not a misperspective. This is a 20-ounce coffee cup, which also means my head is particularly large. Here, let me back up. I'm drinking coffee that's as big as my head. My coffee cup's as big as my head. I'm giddy with the caffeine. There's Grit behind me. She's our mean cat. She loves my husband and she hates me. Not as big as it looked, yeah. The Dow channeled Kuan Yin, yeah, or vice versa. It is 2 feet tall. Have you seen? I have to go all the way back. I practically have to. You can measure snowfall with that mug. I practically have to lift it with 2 hands. Ugh, it's so heavy. It's gigantic. I'm gonna miss snow this year, I think. This is my first winter outside of Colorado in 25 years. And before that, I lived in Texas, so there was no snow. It's warm. Okay, I'm gonna go put up a cat fence. Ouch. Yeah, I don't think a straw would help. You need a good emoji app. Yeah, I'd love that. I would love you to send me some snow. Let's circle back one more. Practice not doing. Oh, that's tomorrow. Have a spectacular day. Create something today, please. Please practice creating something today. Yes, sometimes. It snows here, too. It just doesn't stay. Many blessings. Thank you, Cynthia. You've been on here this whole time. Love and light, bitches. Go listen to some gangster rap. Get you some, download you some DMX or some Lil Sean or Big Sean or whatever. The worst is NWA. Ooh, they're so bad. Well, they're so bad that I love them. Their lyrics are terrible. Listen to some old LL Cool J or some Ice Cube or some Ice-T. Make them all into NWA. You ain't nothing but a hoochie mala. Hood rat, hoochie mala. You ain't nothing but a hoochie mala. Oh, no. Now I'm never... I'm never going to be able to listen to that song again without hearing Hoochie Mala instead of a Hoochie Mama. You ain't nothing but a Hoochie Mala. Yeah, make a meme out of that. On a sunset background, please. That's fucking hilarious. You better twerk while you work, Sarah. If she twerks, she's gonna drop the beads. She can't twerk while she's beading. I don't care what it says as long as it has a sunset background. They all have sunset backgrounds. Oh, God. Oh, my God. You guys, I can't see now. My eyes are... I'm crying. Oh. I'm going to have to see how many gangster rap lyrics I can translate into malas and spiritual stuff. My favorite memory of Sarah is when she sang karaoke too. I like big butts. That's my favorite Sarah memory of all. Oh, please do, Tanya. Buddhas are bikers. Buddhas are often found in bikers. That was one. You know all the words. You so do. I know almost all of them. I know a lot of Salt and Pepper lyrics, as I am a big Salt and Pepper fan. Oh, okay. I should probably go do something. I should probably go get that fence up. I've probably been talking for like an hour and a half. So, thanks for the laughs, guys. Thanks for the laughing. Now I'm going to have to go listen to that song and put the word mala to it. I'm going to laugh so hard. Oh, yeah. Ice Ice Baby is a classic. Yes, Shoop song. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're packed and you're stacked, especially in the back. Gonna want to thank your mother for a butt like that. Can I get some fries with the shake, shake, Shoopy? Good looks could kill you, would be an Uzi or shotgun. Bang! What's up with that thing? There you go. There's some salt and pepper. I went to a conference in Ashland, Oregon, and one of the police officers and I sang almost that whole song, almost that whole Shoop song at the table. That one I don't know. There's some entertainment right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I don't want to tell latecomers who I am, but Michelle Wolf, CaddyshackDesigns.com. You can find me there, and okay, I gotta go. Thank you so much. You made my whole day. I seriously didn't even want to get out of bed this morning. I was so tired. I just wanted to lay around and do nothing. Message: be your authentic self. If that means you have an inner rapper for a myriad of reasons, and you will pee your pants. Yeah. You will pee your pants by being your authentic self. But it's a good kind of pee your pants. It's a good kind. All right. Have a wonderful day, guys. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. You guys got me out of bed this morning for real. I would still be laying in there like a totally useless slug. Bye, Nina. Bye, you guys. So much love. So much gratitude. So much laughing. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.